American and Europeans' responses to each other's heat waves or whatever is really showing a larger problem we have with actual empathy and understanding that the context matters. I spent the first 25 years of my life in Florida. I'm in the UK right now during this heat wave. Is it nearly as hot as the average day in Miami? Absolutely not. But in this context, where they're not used to it and their homes are built to keep heat in, it's a big deal for them. They don't have AC everywhere like we do. Some places do, some places don't. But it's not as common for like the residential homes. While in Florida, I have called out of work and they have verified it as an emergency because my AC broke in the summer in Miami. And they were like, no, you need to fix that. And I was like, I know. Because I also lived in a trailer at that time, and that was literally like living in a hot car. Now, also growing up being Floridian, I would hear from my cousins in Ohio or anybody else making fun of how we would think certain things were cold, 50 degrees, whatever is cold. Because again, we're not used to it. Our places aren't built for it. We do not have the wardrobe. When I moved to DC was the first time I bought a real coat in my life. Because if it's only below maybe 40 degrees for a handful of days a year, it's not worth a big coat. A big coat is expensive. But rainstorms, call me when it's past the Cat 3. Context matters. And we see this with almost every social problem we have, is people not understanding how other people have different experiences and it impacts them differently. That's it, y'all. That's the basics. We can just understand that other people have different systems that impacts them differently. It's that simple. And the irony is, by just making fun of each other and being like, no, I have it worse, or you're just weak, we are missing that this is a problem that impacts us all, which is climate change. And which is that Europe shouldn't be as hot as Florida. That's a big difference that's concerning in a very short amount of time. And you know who's going to be impacted by that first? Florida. It's hard to get insurance anywhere there and have affordable living if you make local salaries because storms are getting worse. And it's just a very tangible example of when we don't give a shit about problems till they impact us, it just gets worse for everyone. And I know a lot of interventions and thought leadership on this is we have more in common than differences, and that's usually true. And I know people connect over similarities more than others, and that's true. But I really challenge people that we need to learn to be okay with difference. Because if that is all it takes to divide you, you can be robbed blind. You're gonna come across difference. And part of why we travel and people vacation in Florida, a big part of how the state as an economy, is because it's different. There's an innate part of our humanity that sees difference as a threat, but we have to evolve a little bit, y'all. Because sameness, but treating everything as needing the same solution is also going to be our demise.